I'm recording this on Boxing Day 2020 and it's going on YouTube in one take, even if there are mistakes, so apologies in advance. Merry Christmas belatedly and a Happy New Year for 2021 when it rolls round. I've got a feeling that next year 2021 will be a lot better for us all than 2020. I thought I would upload a video because I haven't put anything on YouTube for several months now, and I didn't want people to think that I had forgotten about this channel and that I wasn't going to do any more videos. I always decided that I would only upload a video when something happened. I wasn't going to routinely publish videos just for the sake of it. Although I suppose you could say this video is kind of just for the sake of it, although it's, as I say, to send greetings and best wishes to everybody watching. PMR446, I haven't done much recently because there haven't been many good propagation conditions lately. We have had tropospheric ducting up the North Sea, in Kent alongside East Anglia, but we haven't had many down here in West Sussex, or on the occasions we have had them I've been at work or otherwise unavailable. So I've done very little PMR446 stuff really, except that in November I spoke to 3 stations on the northern coast of France, using a technique, shall we say. On transmit I used the Florian FC200 at 500 milliwatts. On receive I used my Wouxun KG699 Echo, I think it is, with the HB9CV antenna that you've seen in a different video. Now I didn't film this, partly because it was really windy on the beach. It's very open and exposed down there, so if I tried to film it, all you would have heard would have been a load of wind noise on the audio. But the other reason is that obviously I only have one pair of hands. Now why would you transmit on one handheld and receive on another? Well, the 3 contacts I had were all on PMR channel 8, which is probably the busiest channel in the whole PMR band, and a lot of people were using PMR locally for what it was designed for, local communications with friends, family, that kind of thing. The HB9CV antenna has a really good front to back ratio, so when I'm standing on the beach, France is to the south of me. All the other signals that I didn't want to hear were coming from the east or the west, so broadside on to the HB9CV, or from the north behind me on the back of the antenna. And by doing it that way, if I had just been using the Florian and nothing else for transmit and receive, yes, I would have heard the people in France, but their incoming transmission would quite regularly have been overridden by local stronger stations, because as you probably know, PMR446 is FM, and on FM you have the capture effect. By using the HB9CV on receive, I was able to null out most of the worst of the interference from local stations in England. So as a result of that, I was able to copy probably 90% of the incoming transmissions, whereas if I'd been listening on the Florian as well, I might have heard 30% of what was being said to me. So it did make a heck of a difference. So that's a little tip that people might be able to use in future. The other tip is when lockdown eases and we can get out and about again, try going to car boot sales. My wife loves car boot sales, and since I met her in 2012, I've undoubtedly been to more car boot sales since then than in the whole of the rest of my life put together before then. And I've noticed that since about 2015 it's become a lot more common to see PMR446 radios on sale at boot sales. Prior to that, if you saw anything, it tended to be old CB rigs for sale. But now you'll often see radios such as these. Of course, these tend to be channels 1 to 8 only, by dint of being slightly older. But these are two that I bought, I think it was in 2020, for £1 for both of them. They didn't work, not because there's anything wrong with them, although I've got a feeling they do have slight malfunctions. There's a couple of problems with them, different problems on each radio, so they're not 100% working, but they work well enough. And the chap was selling them because, as far as he knew, they didn't work at all. They both had AAA batteries in them that were flat. That was the reason that they didn't turn on. And these batteries alone are worth more than £1, more than I paid for these. The other reason I was prepared to take a punt on them was that they came with belt clips, and as you can see, this one I've taken off the belt clip, and that is because in my other life as a radio amateur I have a FT252 from Yaesu for 2 meters, and I accidentally snapped the clip off the back of that a couple of years ago. Well, guess what? The clip off the back of this fits perfectly on this, and again, if I'd gone out and bought a replacement belt clip for the FT252, that would have come to more than £1 easily. So what I'm saying is, when we can go to car boot sales again, if you see a couple of PMR446 radios on sale for a couple of £, which is becoming more and more common, as I say, it's worth a punt, because even if they don't work, even if you are sure that they're completely trashed, if they've got single-use cells or rechargeable batteries in them, then it's worth buying them for those alone. You're in with a shot of getting some batteries that are worth more than you paid for the radio. You may be able to repurpose the belt clip, and if a person is selling just one of these rather than a pair, you may very well be able to haggle the price down a bit by pointing out to the seller that one radio on its own ain't much use, and suggesting that they should come as a set. Well, they should come as a set, shouldn't they? Therefore, half of the equipment is missing. Therefore, the seller might want to think about charging a lower price. So that's all I can think of. I hope this has been interesting. Season's greetings to you all. Many thanks for watching this and listening to me rambling on. Been going 8.5 minutes now, so I'll knock it on the head here and just say once again a very Merry Christmas to you all. Hope you had as good a time as possible, and 2021, I'm sure of it, will bring better things, particularly when there's good tropospheric ducting. I'm a little bit disappointed actually, because the last few Decembers, and December 2019 in particular, we had really good lift conditions on VHF and UHF in general, and on PMR446. I've looked at the Hepburn forecast and it doesn't look like we're going to have that in 2020, but hopefully, if conditions are good in the new year, I might talk to some of you then. Look after yourselves, stay safe, and keep on enjoying the hobby. Bye for now.